If you spend an hour or two walking the streets of downtown Springfield, you'll find no shortage of unique buildings and architecture that make it easy to grab your attention. Like the Shrine Mosque on the corner of St. Louis Street and Kimbrough Avenue, Founders Park, just north of the downtown square, and of course, the iconic Hammond's Tower. But there's still one building that manages to stand out from the rest, and that is the Christ Episcopal Church on historic Walnut Street.
Walk through the front doors, and you're greeted with exposed trusses, stained windows, and a feeling of admiration.
The Episcopal Church is known for the beauty of its architecture. We see beauty as a kind of reflection of the nature of God.
Built in 1870, the church was built using a Gothic style of architecture, a technique that is often seen in English country churches, but there's one thing that sets this over 100-year-old building apart.
The difference being, in England, the churches are made of stone in that Gothic style. This was made of wood because wood was most readily available.
Wood that was sourced from Rolla and pulled to Springfield by a team of mules, but it was never intended to stay that way.
It was thought that the Carpenter Gothic would be temporary, and that in due course a congregation would have the wherewithal to build a proper stone Gothic church. We became accustomed to our beautiful Carpenter Gothic, and nobody would think of doing anything to change it.
This preservation led to the church being added to the Historic Register in 1987.
We're, as it were, a gem, an architectural gem, that this state, that this country said by those proclamations should be preserved, and so we are.
In the mid-2000s, due to the growing congregation size and the growth of downtown Springfield, the church was renovated. They also added a brand new parish hall as well as this beautiful cloister area.
When you add something to an existing structure, there's always going to be a leak somewhere. So we're in a kind of constant battle with water.
Thanks to earnings and generous donations from the community, leaders at the church are able to keep up with the many repairs the 151-year-old building is needing. And they say it's a battle they're happy to fight.
We love this building. Imagine that this building, this church, this holy space, which has been here since 1870. Imagine all the people over all those generations who have come here, have knelt in these pews, have sat in these pews, have worshiped in this space.
And with it being the oldest church in Springfield that is still in use,
this church has been here through innumerable wars, sadly. There have been weddings, there have been baptisms, there have been confirmations, ordinations, all these services over so many years.
There are no plans to change the way the church looks or operates anytime soon.
The desire historically has been to keep this church the beautiful church that it is, and to kind of maintain that link with the past while kind of looking to the future.